Dear friends, Shogun, this is a novel. It is about the Japanese background of this novel is it is written by James Clavell in 1975, a historical novel chronicling the end of Japan's Asuji Momoyama period from 1568 to 1600 and the dawn of Edo period 1603 to 1868. So Shogun, the author of this historical novel, is James Clavell, and genre, this is a fictional historical fiction novel, and for let me tell you about the background of this novel. For about nearly 30 years, Japan had been fractured by dynastic clashes and was without a shogun, central ruler. Japan was also interfered with militarily and politically by Catholic Portugal in concert with the Roman papacy and Jesuits stationed in Japan and elsewhere in Northeast Asia. Their prime interest in Japan were to control trade with Europe and to propagate Roman Catholicism. Portugal had profited well as Japan's exclusive European trading partner for more than 50 years. So, the clandestine mission of the Dutch ship Erasmus was to compete with the Portugal for Japan and the rest of the lucrative Far East Asian trade. After much of its crew, including its captain, dies, it ends up marooned in Izu harbor, the survivor thereby becoming the first Protestant to set foot in Japanese soil. The ship's crew is held captive while armaments, records, and coin are seized by Isu's daimyo Lord Yabu. Yabu had hoped to keep the ship a secret, but a spy reported the ship's arrival to his liege Toranaga, Lord of the Kanto and President of the Councils of Regents. Toranaga has the ship's navigator Blackthorn brought to him in Osaka, knowing that the Erasmus could be a source of investigates again a source of advantages against Lord Ishidu, his chief rival in the council. Toranaga's meeting with Blackthorn is faithfully translated by a Portuguese Jesuit, Father Alvito, despite the revelations of war between Catholics, Portugals, and Elizabethan England. Until then, Toranaga was unaware that Christendom was so divided. To sequester Blackthorn from the other regent, he is imprisoned with a Franciscan friar who teaches Blackthorn rudimentary Japanese and relates how the Jesuits mercenaries invaded Japan and launched violent agitation to profit the Portuguese crown. Before the two Catholic regents, urged on by the Jesuits, can have him executed, Blackthorn is abducted in transit and returned to Toranaga. Lady Toda Maraiku, a Jesuit educated Catholic loyal to Toranaga, not her church, faithfully translates to Toranaga Blackthorn's account of the Pope granting Portugal colonial rights to Japan and East Asia, in return for replacement of all non-Catholic lords, including Toranaga, with those loyal to Portugal and Rome. He also relates the Franciscan report of Catholic Ronin from Macau invading Japan. Toranaga is taken aback and refuses Portugal's trading ship requests to leave Japan. In turn, the regents, after once again failing to assassinate Blackthorn, try to force Toranaga to commit seppuku. Instead, he resigned from the council and flees Osaka. Aided by Blackthorn clownish antics, he, Toranaga, Mariko, and others of his court make it to Anjiro, which is safer. Toranaga elevates Blackthorn to the samurai rank of Hatamoto and gifts him a concert Fujiko. In Anjiro, Blackthorn threatens to commit seppuku after Yabu says he will burn down the village if the Englishman doesn't learn Japanese fast enough. He is narrowly stopped by Omi. Slowly, Blackthorn's grasp of Japanese speech and customs improves. He trains a contingent of samurai in European style warfare and, after a devastating earthquake, rescues Toranaga from underneath rubble. In turn, Blackthorn raises his regard for Toranaga and for Maiku, a key member of Toranaga's inner circle and with whom he secretly has an affair. A chance encounter with Blackthorn old crew finds them revolted by his Japanese ways and he by the coarseness of their European character. To deflect suspicions, Toranaga feigns to all except Mariko acquiescence towards Ishido and professes no desire to do battle. When Toranaga half-brother Zataki, who has allied with Ishido, arrives, Toranaga apparently surrenders and has Mariko's re-enter Osaka with the intention to lay bare Oshido's holding of noble household hostage. When, as planned, Mariko tries to exit Osaka, Oshido men violently block her party until an unintentionally unarmed Mariko gives up on the leaving, saying she has been dishonored. Mariko vows to kill herself the next day. She almost ends her life, but in delaying Gambit, Ishido grants her leave at the last minute. That night, Toranaga's duplicitous vassal Yabu lets Ishido's ninjas into Toranaga's compound to kidnap Mariko. Having retreated to a storeroom, Mariko willfully stands in front of the door, set to explode, and is killed. Her death, which Ishido sought to prevent, forces him to free his noble hostage, thus weakening military alliance. As Blackthorn and Yabu leave, the Jesuits inform the former that the Erasmus has been sunk. As for Yabu, he confesses to Toranaga and obeys his lord's order to commit seppuku. Giving his prized katana to Blackthorn, Mariko wills money to Blackthorn to build a seaworthy ship for Toranaga's navy. At the book's end, Toranaga in soliloquy says he sank the Erasmus to form alliance with the Catholic lords, who in return agreed not to kill Blackthorn. Blackthorn's karma, Toranaga says, is to never leave Japan, as Mariko karma was to die for her lord, and as Toranaga's is to become shogun. The book's epilogue takes place after the Battle of Sekigahara, with Toranaga burying Ishido's up to his neck until he dies 3 days later. So this is the story of the Shogun, and we have many characters in the Shogun, and we have Yushi Toranaga, Tokigawa Ieyasu, Yushi Sudara, Yushi Naga, Ishidu Kazunari, and many other characters. And the protagonist of this novel is the hero Blackthorn. Um, this novel had remained a very famous, a selling, the best-selling book of its time, Shogun, uh, by James Clavell, novel of Japan. I hope you will enjoy this. Thank you very much.